two friends, two time zones, and a shared love of stories.
I'm Freya.
And I'm Jamie.
Bridging time zones one chapter at a time.
Welcome to Once Upon a Time Zone. Hi everyone, welcome back to Once Upon a Time Zone. Today you're going to learn a lot about us because we are doing an Ask Us Anything episode. So over on Instagram a couple days ago, we gathered some questions from you guys of like basically anything you wanted to know from us. There are some bookish things, there are some non-bookish things, there are some bookish adjacent things. But yeah, today is going to be a big get to know. It's going to be a fun one because hopefully you'll learn something new about us outside of our bookish habits, but also if you're here listening to our episodes just for bookish things, don't worry, there are some bookish things that we are going to talk about today as well. So yeah, today's going to be really fun. It's going to be chatty, but first of all, we need to go over current reads. So Freya, what are you currently reading?
What am I currently reading? I'm actually reading two books. Crazy. I know. We never have this, but I am finally continuing Us Against You by Fredrik Backman. But I've kind of realized that it's a book that I tried reading it before I went to bed the other night. I kid you not, I could not sleep. Like I was just thinking about these things on and on and on. So I was like, okay, I need another book, my good night book, basically. I need a like story to read before I go to bed that's not going to keep me up all night thinking about it. So I am reading Vow of Eternal Night by Lily Crozier. And this one's really exciting because she is actually I think one of the marketing assistants at Penguin Publishing in Australia. And for like the past like 2 years, she's been sending me all the arcs and like writing me little notes being like, hey, I think you'll really love this one. And then it came out that she was publishing a book. And I was like, that is so cool. So I was really excited to get to this one. It's basically a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but make them vampires, like make the Beast a vampire. So It's so much fun so far. Just like a really fun time and a really good book to go like to read before you go into bed because you're just having fun. You're not talking about these really, really intense topics that I just, every time I pick up like the Bedtime trilogy, I just am like, Fredrik Backman just says it as it is. There is no tiptoeing around what we're talking about. It's just full on. And like, I think that's great, but also sometimes when you want to just wind down and read a fun little book, it's not really the book to pick up.
It's not just a fun little book. Yeah. It keeps you thinking.
But it's incredible. I'm about like halfway through, so I've made like a good amount of progress. And just very happy to be back in like the Beartown world and just be back with his writing. It's so unlike anything I ever read. Like it's just very, very unique. So yeah, two different very different books going on, but it's a good thing.
Yeah, I love that. Speaking of Fredrik Backman, we're already going on a tangent, but I actually watched the A Man Called Otto movie the other day because I was watching People With Me on Vacation, which we will debrief. But after that, I was like, I don't know, I felt like watching something else, which is like a little insane for me to watch 2 movies in a row. Like, I don't really do that. But I was home alone because my husband was out. And then so I was like, I'm just going to indulge and watch another movie. And then I saw A Man Called Otto was on Netflix, which is the Man Called Ove American adaptation, because I know there's a Swedish one as well. But I watched it. And I will say the movie is good, but the book is so much better. And a lot of it has to do with his writing and the way he tells you things. That's such a big part of his story and how you get the meaning and the feeling from his book. So although the movie was like still good, it was nothing like compared to the book. And it still got me emotional at the end, but I think maybe it was also because I had read the book and had that experience and so, was relating the two back and forth. But yeah, that was an experience that I had.
It would be interesting to I feel like with those kind of movies, you almost need someone who hasn't read the book and then like you who've read the book and see if you have a similar experience whilst watching it. I love doing that with people whenever we get like a book to movie adaptation. I love seeing like a raw reaction to the story and then me who's like comparing all the scenes in my head. It's fully different experience.
Yeah, that'll be husband and I at Project Hail Mary when it comes out.
Yeah.
I'll be like, what did you think?
Yeah, literally. What are you currently reading?
Okay, my read is really fun. It is criminally underrated, I think. I'm not done yet. I'm halfway through, but it's The Scholar and the Last Fairy Door by H.G. Parry. I didn't realize how underrated this was. I've never seen anyone else talk about it, but I looked on Goodreads when I was like logging it as my current read, and I noticed that it only has 5,000 ratings on Goodreads, which I think is very low. I mean, it's not that low if you think about it. Like 5,000 people have read this book. That's pretty cool. But big picture, like compared to, I guess, other books that I usually read, I'm like, wow, not a lot of people have read this. But it's so much fun. I'm actually really enjoying it. The premise of it is it's a historical fantasy, so it's set in the 1920s, and it's one of those worlds that is basically our world, but if there was magic in it. So at the beginning, our protagonist, her brother, enlists to go off into the military, and he goes off fighting during World War One. But there's magic in this world that is kind of hidden. If I could relate it to anything else, it would literally be like in the Harry Potter world where there's muggles and there's wizards, but the wizards have these laws that keep them from doing magic in front of muggles because they don't want to expose magic. It's kind of like that. But in this war, in these battles, I guess in these very vulnerable situations, magic starts leaking out. I don't know, like when people get like panic, they just unleash magic. And so it gets exposed, and then her brother actually gets wounded and gets a fairy curse placed on him in this battle. So he's like uncurable at this point, and so she wants to help find a cure for her brother. She enlists in this magic school. It's like a weird place for her to be because usually only these noble, rich, aristocrat type families go to this fairy school, and she's from a lower born, lower class type of a family. So she feels at a place, but she goes to this fairy school and she's determined to learn a cure for her brother. And it's really fun. She meets these friends. She's a loner at first because, you know, she's like out of place. Everyone else already knows each other, but then she makes these friends. So there's this wonderful found family. And the school, honestly, I already compared this to Harry Potter, but it feels kind of Hogwartsy because there are like hallways that change sometimes. So you might get lost. And I don't know, it's just, I haven't read a magic school where it feels magic schooly, like where it actually feels like school, where you go to class, you pick your schedule,
Yeah.
there are actual consequences if you leave your dorm at night, or, you know, you fear of getting expelled and stuff like that. It feels cozy, but also exciting and high stakes at the same time. And I'm having so much fun reading it.
That sounds so much fun. You're so right. I feel like the whole academy school setting is one that's almost just in the background of so many books these days. Like when they say that they have an academy setting, it's like it's there. But my favorite part of academy settings is like going to school with them and like seeing what they learn about. That's why, like in Will of the Many, those few scenes we had at the academy, I loved them. I was like, I want more of this. So that's so cool to hear. Is it a standalone, did you say?
It is a standalone, which is great.
Yeah.
We love that. And yeah, I always love the idea of a fantasy book that is set in the real world, but it's not just magical realism. Like it is a fantasy where we have this whole big fantasy element, but it's so close to our world that it's like it could be real. But yeah, this one's set in 1920s. It's like the school is also, it's called Camford, so it's actually a piece of Cambridge and Oxford that have like split into this secret magic school.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love it. I'm halfway through. I hope the ending, you know, keeps continuing to be great. But so far, I would definitely recommend it at this point to anyone.
Oh, that's so exciting. We love an unexpected great read.
Yeah, I'm kind of like annoyed at myself because this has been sitting on my TBR for so long. It's one of those that I got an arc for it like last year or maybe even over a year ago, and it's just been sitting on my shelf, and I feel so bad because I've been trying to make an effort to actually read arcs like quicker, you know, this year and these days. But yeah, I feel bad that this one's just been sitting on my shelf for so long, and I finally picked it up and I'm like, why haven't I picked this up? It's so good.
So easy to do though when you get so many arcs, and then you also want to read like books that are actually published and that you don't get asked for and everything like that. It's a very hard balance to find.
Too many books to read, as always. Okay,
Yeah.
we need to do our people we meet on vacation debrief, though, because we've both watched the movie now. So let me know your thoughts. What did you think?
Okay, as someone who very much had to dig into their brain to remember, like to see the differences between the book and the movie, because People We Meet on Vacation, Beach Read, and Book Lovers all, like, I read them so close to each other back like a few years ago. So they all kind of blur together in my mind, like especially the protagonists and the love interests, like all a little bit of a blur. I don't know how to like say this. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun movie. I love the actors. I do think there was some really big parts they left out of the book, but I also kind of understand why they did leave it out, because I feel like Emily Henry is known to always having something a little bit deeper going on in her romance books. Like it's never just a fun, happy vibes romance kind of book. And I was kind of thinking back to, it did give me like original chick flick kind of vibes, which I haven't gotten that feeling from a movie in a long time. So I was really happy about that. And I was kind of thinking back to like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and all of that kind of stuff. And they have like, that was kind of the level of depth that we were getting. So I kind of understood why they took out the parts that they took out, because without any spoilers, if you want to read the book, I don't know. I just don't want to spoil it in case you want to read the book first. There was some quite big, like, I think mainly Alex's character. There were some really big parts left out of that. And like, I can see why they did it, because it would have added a lot to the movie and it would have made it so much longer. And it was already quite a long movie. So yeah, overall, I did really enjoy it. And I think especially alone as a chick flick, like if you're not going to be comparing it to the book the whole time, I think it was really fun. And I loved Poppy. I loved like how well that actress encompassed her. I was like, you were like my soul character right now. Like I love how chaotic she was. And it was just so refreshing to see someone so like bizarre on screen. I was like, I love this. And I mean, I love the actor of Alex. So
Don't we all?
they're my kind of overall thoughts. But before we get into the niche, what's your overall thoughts?
So vibes were definitely there, and I agree. It's the first new movie that I've seen in a long time that has actually successfully captured that classic rom-com vibe that we've all been missing. So I think they did that so well. The casting, perfect. I loved both of them. They were perfect for their roles. Poppy as a character is still very annoying to me as a character, but like Emily Bader did such a good job, you know, like she just felt so natural in the role that I'm like, okay, you're kind of making me like you just because I like Emily Bader. But as a character, still a little bit annoying for me. I think especially at the beginning of the movie. But so there's that. I, though, think that this should have been a miniseries versus a movie, because the beginning of it I think was fun, but I was missing a lot of development from the both of them. And this is me going in also not really remembering all the details of the book, so it's not even comparing like specifics of the book to movie, but I just felt like I was having fun in the first half, and then in the second half when I felt that things were starting to conclude, I was like, oh, this is already happening? Like I feel like I don't know you well enough to go through like this part of your story yet. So I think this should have been a mini series where each episode covered a different trip, like covered a different flashback.
Yeah.
And we could have spent more time with each trip and just gotten more depth that way. I think that would have been the perfect way to adapt this.
Yeah.
So that's like, that's overall what I thought about the movie.
I think it's one that, like, if you haven't read the book and if you don't want to read the book and if you go into the movie blind, I think you'll have the best time. Like, I think, you know, not having a background to it, I think they made it work in a way. Like, you kind of, I do think we could have had a little bit more understanding as to why Alex was such a reserved character. Because I watched this with my boyfriend, and he was like, oh, he was a really like reserved character. And I was like, yeah, like he's meant to be. And that we just didn't really get into reasons as to why. We kind of touched on it, like with his mum and everything, but we didn't really get into reasons. But yeah, I do think if you like go in without too much background, you could just have like the best time. Like it really gave. Also, can I just say the costumes, like the outfit department was so good. I loved
good.
those, like the dresses, and oh my gosh, I was, very, very, very grateful that we got a summer movie in my summer, and I was like, I love that dress, and I can go wear a dress after this, like because usually that's not the case.
True.
So I was very, very thankful for them for that. Kind of still confused why they released it in January when majority of the world's in winter, but anyway, great for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was just a way to bring us all out of our funk. Like
Yeah.
it felt nice to watch.
Yeah.
I couldn't go out in a nice fun summer dress after the movie. I just put on a sweater and went to bed, but you know what? That's okay.
You're right. It is kind of a little light for if you're in the middle of winter. But honestly, I finished the movie feeling very happy with it. So I feel like that's a good sign. I saw some people rating the movie and then rating the book, and I was like, I don't think I've ever rated a movie out of 5 in my life. So then I tried to think of what I would rate it. Like
What
a
would you rate
stars
it?
rating system. I think I'd go with a 4. I think
Oh,
that was like my
okay.
final. Because like I had like such a fun time watching it. And I think I rated the book that from memory. I can't remember. Or maybe I rated it 3.75. I can't remember.
Yeah. I think I would give it a 3. I think it was
Oh.
it was enjoyable. It was fun. I will say I did cringe a couple times, but I also think that's kind of the joy of a rom-com is that some
Yeah.
parts will be cringy, but like maybe in a fun way, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning she was really annoying me because she was eating in his car and he didn't want that. And I was just like, you gotta respect his wishes.
I can see, like, I think if she annoys you as a character, that would definitely very much affect
Yeah.
your overall rating of it.
And like she grew on me, which I think is the point. I think like I am very much more of an Alex if we were to, cast ourselves as a Poppy or an Alex. I'm very much a more reserved type of character who just kind of wants stability and a safe life. But yeah, I do have my fun side when I go on vacation.
When you go on vacation.
But I want to come home to my stable life.
Yum.
And so I understood his side, his perspective a lot more in the movie. So yeah, I was annoyed at those beginning parts, but it was kind of like a magical thing because as Alex grew to, love Poppy, see the fun in her, it's like I was going through that at the same time.
Yeah, that's so
So
cool.
it kind of made for a nice experience that way. But yeah, the eating in the car thing at the beginning, I was like, you can't be doing that. Like, in a burrito, like, any other food would have been
funniest-
better.
The funniest thing was like that in that like scene, we were watching it, and I was just like, well, Austin just like looked at me and he was like, this is just me and you right now. And I was like, what? No. And then I was
Are
like,
you the
yeah, no, that
burrito
is
eater?
me.
Or is he the burrito
Yeah,
eater?
no, I'm Poppy. I'm the
Yeah.
annoying, like I'm he's gonna tell me something and I'm gonna, yeah, okay, and just like keep doing my thing.
Okay, so you're not
But
allowed in my car.
yeah, pretty much. Like if I'm comfortable with you, that's the other thing though. They were strangers. That did baffle me a little bit because I'm only gonna do that if I'm comfortable with someone.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm not quite as extroverted as Poppy. Who is?
Yeah, who is truly. But yeah, it was fun. I think I just wanted a little bit more from it. But I think, yeah, a mini
Yeah.
series would have fixed a lot
I
of
think
that.
good call on that, honestly. All right, should we jump into questions after that
Yeah.
little debrief?
Yeah, what's our first one? Oh, would you ever consider writing a book? Starting out with the big one. No.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. I just don't think I'd be capable of it. I will say when I was a kid, I really enjoyed writing short stories. Like I was the type of kid to just be writing all the time, and I made a bunch of short stories and I binded them, if you can call it binding, like meaning I just put them in a duotang or like a folder.
I love that.
So I don't know. I haven't written a story or a book since I was a very small child. So I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I honestly don't think I'm that great of a writer. Even when I'm writing reviews on Goodreads or even when I'm writing emails, I'm like, wow, I'm so bad at writing. It's so hard for me to think of the right word to use a lot of the time,
Yeah.
which is why I'm a reader and I'm not a writer. So I will continue enjoying my books, but I don't think I'm going to be writing a book anytime soon.
Yeah. No, totally fair enough. I think I'm the exact same. I just don't think also I have the patience to write a book because like I know how big that process is and like finishing a draft and then having to start from the beginning again and like slowly work your way through, and if there's a whole chapter you hate, you have to rewrite that entire chapter and suddenly get back to that specific part of the book in that mindset that you were in when you wrote that like I don't think I have that skill. I think that's why I just have so much respect for people, like for authors in
Yeah.
general. It's
Yeah,
mad to
going
me.
over your own work. Yeah, that's a big one because even like editing YouTube videos, sometimes, confession, I don't watch them through. Like I'll edit it and I'll cut it down as I go. And sometime, most of the time, I'll try and like go back and then watch it through again for like a second time or a third time or whatever, just to make sure all of my edits were smooth. But sometimes, especially for a really long video, I'm like, I hope everything's okay in there, but I don't have the patience to like rewatch my hour-long video again and listen to my own voice because that's painful.
Literally, oh no, I'm the exact same. I think with Jamie and I have talked about this a little bit like off camera as well. And just like it's almost like this sense of just you find yourself so boring watching it because you know what happens in the video. You're like,
Yeah.
like some videos I will say I entertain myself. Like sometimes if
Some of
I'm going
them.
book shopping or whatever, like I'll really entertain myself. But when it's a video that's taken you like 2 hours to film, 7 hours to edit, and then you have to rewatch it again, it's a lot. You're just like, okay, I know this like word by word now. I do not want to rewatch this. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's the same with writing. You're right.
Yeah. It's like going back, it's like wrap-up videos are painful for me. Like painful. And I will continue to do them because I know, everyone loves a wrap-up, but it's like, yeah,
I
it
love your
takes
wrap
me.
ups.
Well, thank you. They're so long though. I can't, I talk too slow. But it takes me like 2 hours to film them. And then, yeah, it takes me like 8 to 10 hours, I want to say, to edit them. And then by the
Yum.
end, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so boring. Why does anyone watch my wrap ups? But some miracles happening
You
'cause
gotta,
for
you
some
gotta
reason.
trust. You gotta trust in your community.
Yeah. But those like drain me. Like wrap ups specifically. I think those are the hardest videos for me to make.
Yeah, well, because you read like anywhere from like usually 12 to 15. I know last month you read like 16 or something
Oh, that was so much. Yeah,
books.
that was a
And
lot.
also, I feel like with wrap ups, you've already done reading vlogs on a lot of those books. You've already talked about them and said a lot of your thoughts before. And then if you
Mm-hmm.
do short form content on them, you've already, like, you've kind of said a bit. You do your Goodreads review, you've said a bit there. Like, by the time it gets to the wrap up, you feel like you've reviewed this book like 4 times.
Yeah.
And yeah, then when you're like, I will say, I feel like once you get into flow of actually filming, I actually love filming my wrap ups. It's the editing of them
Yep.
that takes like the most time, and you're like, okay, have I said this? Did I repeat myself? Yeah, it's
Yeah. It's hard.
it's fine.
But anyways, yeah, back to the question. No, we will
Yeah.
not consider writing a book.
This next question kind of goes on from that though. Favorite drink and snack to have whilst reading or filming, or I guess we could say editing, because I feel like that's when I have most of my drinks and snacks is when I'm editing to entertain myself.
True, true. Okay, you go first then. What are your drinks and snacks?
I mean, I feel like we're both similar in the fact that we love tea. Like,
Yeah.
I have the most massive, ridiculous collection of tea. And I think I have about 5 teas a day. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We mix it up a bit. So tea's always my go-to drink. I love a coffee in the morning, obviously. If I sit down with a nice big iced coffee to get my editing, I can like smash it out. It makes me like this superhuman. I love it. Um, and
Hmm.
snacks. I feel like popcorn. It's like when I'm reading,
Hmm.
popcorn and a tea and a book, that makes me happy. I'm good there.
That sounds so cozy. What's your favorite tea?
Um, Probably, like I love peppermint. I know it's so simple, but I always love peppermint. Like I'm never
Mm.
not going to enjoy a peppermint tea.
Mm-hmm.
There is this very specific tea. I don't know. I think T2 is an Australian brand, and it is called Jade Mountain, and it's like this green, earthy kind of tea, and it is so good. And I've never found a replica of it in any other brand. So like that's my little treat to myself every few months when I run out of it because it's quite expensive, but it's worth it.
We love a bougie tea.
Yeah. What about you? What are your go-tos?
So yeah, I'm a tea drinker as well, especially in the winter. I will make a
Hmm.
tea in the morning and then I will use the same dregs of tea leaves throughout the entire day till at the end of the day I'm drinking hot water. But it's still cozy, guys. Um, my favorite
I remember
teas
seeing
are
that in a vlog like of yours, and I was like, honestly, kind of genius.
yeah, like I'm just making hot water at this point. It's my fifth tea using the same leaves, but it's warm, it's cozy, it has like the essence of tea. And it does the trick. Um, yeah, I like rooibos tea, which I think I've learned I'm saying
Mm.
wrong.
Oh,
Rooibos,
really?
rooibos, I think is the actual correct way to say it. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten
Oh,
again. I had a
I've
lovely
always said
subscriber.
rooibos.
Yeah, I had a lovely subscriber send me a voice note with the correct pronunciation. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And now I've forgotten. But no, I think it's Roy
Yeah,
Boss
okay.
over
That
Roybus.
makes sense.
Um, but I love that one, however you say it.
Hmm.
I do love a green tea as well. I have a caffeine sensitivity, which I didn't used to have. I'm just growing
Oh,
old. And I can't drink caffeine anymore. So I love the taste of coffee, but when I have coffee, it'll be decaf because I just
yeah.
love the feeling and the taste of it. Um, and then teas, I've been like slowly training my body to handle caffeine again. So yeah, I've started like on the green tea. I'm gonna try some
Yeah.
harder teas again and see if I can handle it
Maybe just like do
and
a
go for the
really
hard
weak
stuff.
brew of it. Do like
Yeah,
half a teaspoon of tea leaves and then slowly work your
yeah,
way up.
yeah. I think that's definitely the way to go. But yeah, I have this weird caffeine sensitivity, which is so annoying because it's like even matcha is a pretty strong
Yeah.
tea. And
Yeah.
I used to drink so much matcha. I loved it. And now I can't drink it anymore because of my silly little caffeine sensitivity. So that's why I'm trying to train up my caffeine tolerance again because
Yeah.
I miss my fun drinks.
Definitely a good place to start with green tea. I will, yeah, matcha's amazing as well. It's just I don't drink it too much because it's so expensive. Um,
Yeah.
it's fine. Does it make you like shaky?
No, I get like migraines from it. Like, it really
Oh, I
sucks.
have heard. Mm,
Yeah, but it used to never happen to me. I used to drink like multiple coffees a day until like midnight and go to sleep and be fine and it wouldn't affect me. But I think it was because there was a period of time where I stopped drinking caffeine for like a year.
yeah.
Like, not even purposefully, but it was just like it wasn't in my routine anymore. And then I
Mhm.
guess during that year, my body just started being like, "Oh yeah, we're cleansing ourselves from the caffeine," and then now I can't do it anymore. So
Yeah.
it's annoying. It's frustrating.
Oh, that's so irritating. Favorite snack?
Oh, um, so when I'm reading or filming or editing, I don't eat snacks. I feel like I just need my hands to be free. And
Yeah.
so if I'm like grabbing a snack, it's like, I don't know, my hands are going to be too busy to do that. I think
Yeah.
I've tried to read with a snack, but I ended up just not eating any of my snack because I was too busy flipping pages. So,
Do you know what you need for that? I have like on my Kindle, like the little stand with the little clicker. That's
oh
that's
yeah,
when you need a snack. Yeah.
I do have that. I have the same one as you, but it's in
Yeah.
gray and it has like the bowl in the middle, so like you actually could put a snack in the
Yeah.
bowl because it
It's
comes
kind
with a
of game
bowl.
changing. Just
Yeah,
saying. Like if you get into bed early, kind of game changing.
I love it. I think I actually did try to snack using that bowl once and I was like, this is fun, and then I never did it again.
I love that.
All right. Next
Okay.
question. Oh, this one's why is this one just for me? It says,
I know.
Jamie, did you do ballet when you were younger? Yes, I did. My childhood was basically Dance Moms, and we'll leave it at that.
I still need to like we need to have like a full debrief about that because we get like little snippets of it, like, well, maybe not this episode, but later. We like get little snippets of it randomly when we're talking about like dancing books or like you mentioned you did like skating and stuff, like, and I'm just like, I need to talk about that later. Like, and I just always forget.
My secret life.
Yeah, it's like your like alter ego.
Yeah, no, I had a pretty cutthroat competitive childhood. I was raised in a world of competition and ambition, and yeah, it was a little ruthless, but it's toughened me up over the years. So I handle rejection very well these days,
That's
which is a good
very
thing.
like good skill, honestly. Wish I had that
Character
better.
building. Yeah. Yeah, because there was also a phase in my life where I thought I was going to be a Disney star. Um,
Ooh.
And I went to a bunch of triple threat camps because I was like, I danced. I was into acting a little bit. I tried singing, but don't ask me to sing because that is my weakest point. I cannot sing. But I was convinced I was gonna become the next like Miley Cyrus. I was like, I'm gonna be Hannah Montana. And
I love
then
that.
it never happened. But I did, yeah, for a while I had an agent. I actually got sent to this audition for this Disney show. I didn't get cast in it. I auditioned for Camp Rock though, Camp Rock 2, and I auditioned for High School Musical 3. And yeah,
I'm like
fun
speechless
story.
right now. This is
Yeah.
like a fool. I was expecting some dance competitions. I wasn't.
I mean, I
Oh
did
my
those
God.
too.
Yeah, well, we will be talking about this later, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm so
That is
mysterious,
crazy.
guys.
You really are. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm not some secret actor. Don't worry. I'm so boring. This like wow.
Well, I never actually got cast in them. I just went to the auditions.
Experience. Experience. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Still
High
can
School
draw on
Musical
it.
one, though, that one was so funny because the Camp Rock one, I knew that I was going into a Camp Rock audition, but the High School Musical one, I walked in and it was just called like Untitled Disney Production. So I was like, I don't know what this is. And I walk in and they start teaching us a dance and then they play the music for us to dance to. And I was like, is that Zac Efron's voice? I was like, what am I listening to right now? And then later, I watched High School Musical. I watched the movie, and then the dance and the song was in the movie. And I was like, hey, I already know this dance.
That is so funny.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Oh my
yes, I did do
gosh.
ballet and a couple other things.
Guys, we are learning
Um,
so much today. We said we were learning more about us, but yeah.
yeah, deep cuts today. The next one is, are we planning on meeting? We got a lot of you guys asking this one. We've been talking about it kind of
Yeah.
vaguely. We've been brainstorming ideas. We've been chatting for like location ideas, like where is actually halfway between the two of
Yeah.
us. Like, because halfway means a different thing depending on what you're looking at. It could be like halfway depending on price point. It could be halfway depending on physical distance, which I think is actually in the middle of the ocean. Or it could be halfway like flight time. So there are a couple of different, yeah, things, places we could go to, and then some ideas that we've had. But yeah, we're talking
It's
about it.
yeah, we'll say it's a work in progress. Like I feel like we just picked literally like some of the furthest points away in the world to travel to. Like I was looking
Yeah.
at flights to Toronto and it's like something like a 35-hour travel day because of
Mm-hmm.
like all the stopovers from here and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I had lived in Sydney, a city over, it probably would have been so much easier. But no, I chose
Ah.
Melbourne. Yeah. Um, but yeah, we're kind of in the works. Like, honestly, I think I speak for both of us when we say would absolutely love to. Like, we're waiting on this
Mm-hmm.
just as much as you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if we do meet one day, of course we'll film an episode together. I did get a few of them as well saying, like, could you film an episode together? And if, yeah, when we meet, would love to. Um, but yeah, it's kind of slowly in the works. Don't expect it to happen like in a week, but maybe some
Yeah.
point.
We're trying. We're trying our hardest. Imagine, though, clicking on an episode and then the video starts and then we're actually in the same room.
Jaw dropped, like we would just...
Like, I feel shocked even just thinking of the idea.
I know, same. I can't wait until I like see you in person. And I was like that, it's a whole different thing. You kind of imagine what you like are like in person, but we don't know, guys.
I know. We'll never know. But yeah, if you guys have any location, destination ideas for us, let us know and we'll take those into our brainstorming sessions.
Our next question, current favorite TV show. Interesting. Do you watch a lot of
Ooh.
TV shows?
Honestly, not so much. I think ever since working in the film industry, which I think is kind of another like hidden
Another segue.
thing of mine. I don't work in the film industry anymore because the industry sucks and I got laid off and there was a bankruptcy. Uh, long story.
Yeah.
But I don't watch that much TV anymore, but when I do, it's either like because the show has been very hyped up or because it's like an actually really good show. Like I'm not the type of person to just put on Netflix just to put on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather be doing something else, like read a book or like I play video games as well.
Yeah.
But I will say, in terms of like a really strong TV show that I've watched somewhat recently, I'd have to say Severance. Like,
Yeah.
literally one of the best TV shows I've seen in a very, 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 very long time. Like, it's so good. The story, the plotting, the writing, the production of it, everything is like so cleverly done, so thought out, so intentional. Love it so much.
That one is on my to watch. It's just really hard to like find a platform in Australia. It's on very like specific platforms that are kind of hard to get a subscription. They're really
Oh,
expensive to get a subscription to, so you kind of have to like commit to watch it in like a month or something.
oh,
So that's
okay,
why I haven't
wait.
watched it yet.
This is such a discussion because I've never thought about this, but I know like
Yeah.
that is a thing because a lot of shows are, for example, on Hulu, and that's an American thing, I'm pretty sure, and we don't get Hulu in Canada, so any Hulu show we have to like find on another platform. But what platforms do you have? Like, where do you watch things?
We have way too many platforms. I actually hate it. Like, so Hulu we can watch because Disney just like only recently have like done a collaboration or like bought it or something.
Oh, yeah.
But there's like a section on our Disney accounts where you can go to ESPN, I think it is, and then Hulu. Like there's like kind of three different sections now. So it's
Oh.
like Disney and then those two. So that's kind of useful. We did get like access to a lot more. I feel like Disney's turning into quite a good base to have, like a good subscription to have. Then we have obviously Netflix, which doesn't have as much as you'd think in
Yeah.
Australia. It has like the Netflix shows, and then Stan is one that's an Australian platform, another one, and then obviously Amazon Prime, and then HBO Max, and then Apple TV, and then Paramount, and then I think that's it. I think. So we've got a
Okay.
lot, and it makes it really hard to like when the TV shows that are getting hyped up are on like all the different platforms, you kind of have to like for White Lotus, for example, that was on HBO and I hadn't watched it because it was really hard to get. So then we found another few movies that were on HBO that we wanted to watch. So we were like, great, we're
Right.
gonna like try and get this out in like 2 months, watch as
Yep.
quickly as we can. So then like
Yep.
eventually then we can go on to our next subscription. It kind of makes it really annoying to be honest. But do you have
Yeah.
that many or is it more
Yeah,
solid?
it
Yeah?
sounds similar. And then yeah, even within the platforms, like if you get Amazon Prime, you don't necessarily get everything on Amazon Prime because then
Yeah.
there's like other ones that you have to like add on at an extra cost and it's so annoying. I used to get Netflix for free because I worked in the film industry, but I don't anymore.
Oh.
So that's annoying. But I now pretty much only pay for one at a time. And I do kind of the same thing. If I want to watch something, I'll kind of batch it. And that's why the other day, probably, I watched People We Meet on Vacation. And then I watched A Man Called Otto because I'm like, well, I have
Yeah.
Netflix for this month. So I'm going to watch all of them, like
Yeah.
everything I can. But yeah, it's really annoying. But Severance is on Apple TV.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, obviously same for us. We just haven't
Yeah.
gotten it yet because nothing else is on it. Um, maybe I'll
Apple
wait
has
till the
really
new Ted
good stuff
Lasso.
though. That's true.
Yeah, I need to
I
find
find
a few
that
more.
like their production is usually just a lot better than the
Yeah,
other ones.
that is
Like they
true.
actually make quality shows. Like maybe not as much amount, but what they do
Hmm.
make is all very good from what I've seen.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that's my next subscription.
Yeah, Apple
Um,
Binge. What's your fave show though?
I'm kind of the same. I go through like phases where I'll like really be into a TV show and then I won't watch something for a long time. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the most recent one, most obvious, is Stranger Things because the final series came out.
Oh yeah.
I feel like every Stranger Things fan is in the same spot as me at the moment, but it's fine. I loved the first half of that series, by the way, for any like Stranger Things fans listening. Loved the first half. We're not going to talk about the plot holes in the second half of the series, but anyway, I did cry a lot at the
Yeah.
ending though. So I feel like that was my most recent one. Do you know what I actually did watch kind of recently though, I guess? New Girl. I hadn't watched New Girl before, and that was really fun because I really like Jess as a main character. She's so quirky and funny. And I love her. I feel like I've just found out that I love
Yeah.
really weird characters. Like I've always
I
been a
love
Phoebe
that.
from Friends kind of girl. Luna Lovegood, all of that.
Yes. Yes, I love it. Next one is, do you think buying a special edition of a book you already own is overconsumption? I vote no. I don't think it's
Yeah,
overconsumption. I mean, I think it can get a little out of hand. Like, I think everything in moderation, you know? If you really
yeah.
love a book and you want another edition of it, I think that is more than fine. Book collecting has been a hobby for, I was going to say millions of years, not millions of years, but for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like, book collections, all of that. There's fun in it, there's joy in it. Yeah, I don't think it's overconsumption. Where are my words? If you want to buy a special edition of a book you already own.
Yeah, I think especially if it's a book you really love and like it's one that's really moved you, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's fine, to be honest.
Yeah.
Obviously if you're going to buy duplicates of every single book you read, that's another, like just because there's a special edition of it, that's
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
thing. But I think if you're like being quite selective with what you're buying, um, yeah, I think it's fine. And I mean, I love looking at people's special edition collections. I find them so fun, especially like the different special editions from different countries. And maybe that's like, I've seen some people, it's like a souvenir from different countries they go to, like they can get different
Yeah.
editions. And I
That's
think that's
nice.
really cool. So yeah, I like it.
I like it. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, long story short, it can get out of hand, but in a,
So
like
can
the act
everything.
of itself, yeah, I think it's fine. The next one is, how did the idea of this podcast come up? How did we start filming together? I was
I
taking a
feel like
shower
you've
and
mentioned this. Yeah.
yeah, I was taking a shower, had a stroke of inspiration, and texted Freya.
Yeah, pretty
That's pretty much
much.
it. And I was like, if you don't want to do it, I won't be offended. It's okay, but like, do you want to do a podcast?
No, I was so over the moon. I've been wanting to do like we wanted to have a podcast, a bookish podcast for the longest time, but obviously week after week doing hour-long episodes with just yourself. That's I don't know if I'd have
Yeah,
that much to say on top of all my other videos. So I was
yeah.
like, you kind of need the back and forth.
Yeah, it's fun to do it with a friend. And yeah, exactly. Like we both have our own YouTube channels where we do a lot of sit down videos, chatty videos. So
Yeah.
what else would we talk about if we just had a podcast to ourselves? So I think a lot of it, yeah, it's like the back and forth, the actual talking to someone that makes the podcast honestly just like really fun. I enjoy filming podcast
Yeah.
episodes so much, even more than filming for my own channel because it's you just get to talk to a friend and it's just a fun time.
Yeah. It's like just being on FaceTime talking to your bookish bestie. It's great. And especially I
Yeah.
think we're kind of like each other's person in our lives that is like in the same world. I don't have a lot of people that
Hmm.
are as obsessed with books as we are. So it's kind of nice to have like a little outlet to nerd
Yeah.
about, I guess.
Yeah. Just a fangirl over books and fantasy worlds.
Yeah. This one kind of goes on that. Do you tend to remember long-time viewers or commenters?
Ooh, yes. Yes, 100%. I always, if you are one who has commented on every single podcast episode or every single YouTube video, I remember you. I
Yep.
do remember you. I do remember your comments. And yeah, obviously, it's a big part of YouTube or social media's community, and I love engaging in the comment section, and it's just like having a bunch of little discussions with everyone. And so
Yeah.
if you comment a lot, or I get like I DM, honestly, I DM with a lot of you guys over on Instagram quite a bit, like obviously I remember.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. I always remember people who've commented like multiple times. I feel like when you've commented like on an amount of videos over and over and over again, then I'm like, oh, I know who you are. You're back. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I will say,
Yeah.
if you change your profile picture and you're like just commenting, obviously DMing, different situation. But
Hmm.
if it's like the profile picture that changes, I'm very visual in like my memory. I remember your profile
Yes.
photo more than, unless you've got like a really specific username. But if it's like user 125 or whatever, I'm not gonna, I remember your profile picture more.
Yeah.
So if you change your profile picture, it might take me a second or something to be like, hang on, wait, have I seen this commenter before?
Mm-hmm.
Because like, yeah, I do usually remember you guys via your profile photos.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I think it's one of the best parts, to be honest, of like, and some people, some of you guys, especially on our like personal, I'm sure it's the same for you, been here since like day, like for a long time, for years.
So long.
And
Yeah.
it's crazy. And then when I get those comments where it's like, been watching you since day one, it's like my heart just wants to explode. I'm like, thank
Mhm.
you. It's so
Yeah.
sweet.
Like, how have you stuck with me for this long?
So yes is the answer to that one.
Yeah, so cool.
I want to ask you this one. I love this one. Favorite music artist or band? Because we talked about this in a few episodes ago when we were talking about Taylor Swift and stuff. And I
Mhm.
don't like now I want to know who do you listen to?
I am that weirdo who doesn't really listen to music. Okay, here's my history with it. I used to listen to music a lot, and especially growing up being a dancer who like obviously danced to a lot of music, a lot of the music I listened to would be music that I danced to, like very danceable music. So that consisted of a lot of like emotional ballads or just like very emotional songs that are very expressive and that you can dance to, because I did a lot of contemporary dance and all of that. So that was a lot of my listening. I would say some of my favorite artists from back in the day were like James Bay, I really loved. um I mean, Ed Sheeran I've always loved. I enjoyed Florence and the Machine, M83, um, a lot of like acoustic singer-songwriter types as well.
Yeah.
And then musicals. I
Yeah,
love
fair enough.
musicals. I'm a musical nerd. I will listen to musical songs all day, every day.
Yep.
But nowadays, I just like, I don't know, I live my life in silence, which makes me sound insane. But I read a lot, I edit a lot, and when I'm editing, I
Yeah.
can't really be listening to anything. So I think that makes it tough too. And when I'm filming stuff, I can't be listening to things because I'm obviously like talking to the camera. And
Yeah.
so I just think there's not as much time in my day, in my normal routine, to listen to music.
Yeah.
Um, and then when the time comes for me to listen to things, like if I'm going somewhere, if I'm taking the bus, if I'm working out, I'll put in a podcast or these days an audiobook. So
Yeah.
I kind of like live my life with words and
Yeah,
no
that's like
music
that's
these
fun. I love
days.
that.
But like I know that's so weird that I don't know. I think I'm very boring because I don't listen to music anymore.
No. You're like that honestly probably just makes you more intelligent listening to like podcasts and audiobooks all the time. Like that's so cool. I love it.
How about you?
I listen to a lot of music because like I'm a big walker. So I will say
Mm,
recently been listening to audiobooks on my walks, which I am finding so therapeutic. Like that is such a
mm,
fun, like a nice thing to do to like wind down and kind of calm my nervous system because I have a very, very busy brain and I get really, really restless. So I do go on like a big walk a day, sometimes 2 to 3 walks a day if I'm really like up in like whenever I've got exams or whatever, I'm always like up at the crack of dawn, gone for a big walk, study for like 5 hours, go for a big walk, study again. Like that's
Love
kind of
it.
how I break up my day. So I do listen to a lot of music when I'm walking and then when I'm driving anywhere.
Hmm.
Obviously I said the other week I love Taylor. I love 70s music. I am a big 70s music girl. I love ABBA. I
Ooh.
love Electric
Okay,
Light
fun.
Orchestra. I love Dire Straits. I have like a lot of older musicians and bands that I absolutely love.
Hmm.
And I feel like I'm quite often listening to like a 70s mix. Um, I have been liking Olivia Dean at the moment. I'm really liking her
Oh, yeah.
songs. But that's a new one for me, which doesn't always happen, by the way. I don't always branch out into new music.
We stay in the
And I mean,
70s.
yeah, I really do. It's like Taylor Swift and 70s.
70s.
It doesn't really go much further than that. Um, Another thing though, and I feel like this kind of goes on to the next question as well, though. Do you listen to music whilst reading? I
Mm.
listen to act like movie soundtracks whilst I read. And it is the
That's
best
so
thing. I
cool.
listened to like Pirates of the Caribbean, Narnia, the Narnia soundtrack whilst you were reading a fantasy book.
Ooh.
And then when you like get to like the battle scene of the soundtrack and there's like conflict going on in your book, it's like this whole experience. So I highly recommend that. And it does like it really, especially when my mind's busy, it drowns out all my kind of thoughts and I can just
Mm.
focus and be very immersed. So highly recommend listening to movie soundtracks whilst you're reading. I can't do lyrics though.
No, yeah, definitely can't do lyrics. I once tried to listen to the Nutcracker soundtrack while I was reading a Nutcracker retelling around the holidays. It was a wonderful experience. I will say though, the book itself was not that great for me, but just the feeling of reading a Nutcracker inspired book while listening to the Nutcracker soundtrack was magical. I don't do it very often though. I don't like often have things in my ears. Um,
Yeah.
but sometimes when I really want to focus on a book and just like be fully immersed in it, I actually got this tip from Emmy, but I'll listen to brown noise,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 100%.
which it's such a game changer. If you're feeling a little scattered and you're like, no, I want to focus and read, put in the brown noise, open your book, the entire world falls
Yeah.
away. It's so cool. But it's just like a static sound in your head. If you've never heard of brown noise, it's like a frequency, like a very steady
It's like a
frequency.
muffled, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, muffled, staticky kind of a sound that for some reason helps you focus.
Yeah. The other thing that I do sometimes is like library ambience. So it's like either rain or like a fire crackling and like
Oh,
just like it
yeah.
can be like even muffled voices in the background or something like that. But I feel like probably because I read a lot when in the library when I was younger, that can really help me
Mm,
like switch on as well.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I just need something in my ears, that's also another easy one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Just
Yeah,
hearing like,
actually
yeah,
for like
ruffling,
winter for you.
flipping of pages.
Yeah, literally, or even just like on your like TV or something, put on like a fire crackling. That's also a really
Yes.
good, yeah. Honestly, do it while you're in winter.
That's a vibe too. Yeah, necessary for this time of the year. Okay, what's our next one? Where are we? Oh,
There we are.
expectations for the new Bridgerton season. Okay, I'm actually currently reading the Bridgerton
Ooh.
book because just happened to be at the perfect time. I'm at the third book in the Bridgerton book series, which is Benedict's book, which is the one that is going to be adapted for the season coming out like soon.
On my
Very, very
birthday, I
soon.
think actually. It comes out on like the
Fun.
29th. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's so much
that's
fun.
so funny.
So I'm reading it. I didn't even like remember it was coming out like so early this year. I knew it was coming out
Same.
this year. And then I picked the Benedict's book on my January TBR, just thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna read it because the season's coming out this year. And then I remembered or I got reminded it was coming out this month and I was like, oh, perfect. Like, so I am currently reading it. It's so far my favorite Bridgerton book, which like isn't saying too
Okay.
much because I didn't like the first and second books, but it is like vastly improved from the first and second books. I don't know. I feel like they kind of assassinated Benedict's character in the series because the things that man has been getting up to, he's been going on the weirdest side quests, and I'm like, Benedict, what are you doing? And now, while reading his book, I'm like, why did they make his character do all of those things? It's like so highly
That's
unnecessary. Um, but I'm curious. I'm open-minded. I honestly didn't love season 3. So I'm
mm,
hoping that this one's improved. I don't know. But I'm going in with like open mind, open expectations. I'll keep my Netflix subscription open for an extra month so I can
yeah.
watch Bridgerton, and then I'm canceling it right after.
Yeah.
In this
No,
economy.
absolutely. Literally, yeah, you got to pick and choose.
Yeah, but do you have any specific expectations?
I know that like big parts of the book plot have been changed. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I would say like overall the main romances have stuck true, at least season 1 and
Okay.
season 2. Some things have been changed, but like the overall trajectory have been the same, but what they've changed a
Yeah.
lot is just like all the side quests, all of the side
Yeah.
plots. Those don't exist at all in the book.
Okay.
So, yeah, those are all just wild cards.
Because, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I haven't been like a major Bridgerton fan. I kind of just put it on for the vibes. Like, it's a really fun series.
Mm.
I definitely didn't love the third season as much either. I think the second season is probably my favorite so far. Um, I'm curious. I like definitely will be watching it. But yeah, I don't have any crazy expectations. And after the third season, like I'm not I don't know. I'm not really expecting. I didn't get the giddy feelings from the third season. I don't
Yeah.
know where that went. I don't know whether it was because I watched the first and the second a bit closer to each other, so I still had the vibes going. I'm not really sure, but I didn't get that like butterflies that I did in the first few seasons.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully it comes back in the fourth season.
Hopefully. I think my favorite Bridgerton season so far is actually does this even count? It's the spin-off. It's the Queen Charlotte
Oh yeah.
series. That was honestly my favorite. That was so good. Like
Yeah.
peak Bridgerton for me.
Yeah, literally. I will say, I feel like the cast is great. I do love a lot of the cast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Cho Chang's in it. Just calling her
Is
Cho
she? Is
Chang.
that?
She's
I
the
didn't put that together.
she's the mom of the female main protagonist, or the stepmother.
Crazy. Did not put that together. Wow.
Okay, so let's just do one more. This one's so funny. Which love interest from a book reminds you of both of your own partners?
That is something I have never thought about before, and I love it because I feel like you're always looking for you as a character. But
Yeah, yeah, I'm never like looking for my husband in a book.
do you have one that stands out?
Mm, okay, it's not gonna be anyone in a fantasy. It's gotta be real
Yeah.
world. Oh, okay, okay. It's a Catherine Center book. What is it? Which one was it? Oh, which one was it? It was the... Wait, my Catherine Centers are behind my camera. I'm gonna...
And look at the viewfinder.
I
Oh,
think
wait,
it was
behind the
the Love
camera.
Haters. Yeah, I think it was the Love Haters. And not because he is any type of like a Coast Guard rescue swimmer or anything like that, but it was more the journey that the protagonist and him went on together because she had a lot of body insecurity issues, and the way he helped her feel confident in her body and realize that her flaws were not actually flaws really reminded me of how my husband helped me overcome that. Like so many things were like almost identical to the things that he said to me. And I remember reading that book and being like, wow, this is actually so true to my story. Um, so that's him, but not
That's,
not anything else about his character, just like that one part.
yeah. I think it's pretty hard to find like an exact, I mean, I don't even know a character that represents me fully. So,
Yeah.
no, that's really
Yeah.
like obviously hard, but like beautiful that you found that. That's really cool.
Yeah. And it's in such like a non-glamorized way too, that's kind of rough. And I feel like that's why a lot of people didn't love that book, because it was a little bit brutal and not glamorous the way he helped her in her journey. But to me, it was so realistic because it's exactly what worked for me. So I think that was really well done by Catherine
Yeah.
Center.
Okay,
Do
maybe I
you
need to
have
add
one
that
though?
to my TBR. Definitely a hard question to like think about straight away. Um, I feel like just because we just watched People We Meet on Vacation, as I said before, it did really remind me like Alex was Austen and I was like a little bit of Poppy. Just because I feel like he's come out like he's a very introverted but then extroverted in different situations. But whilst I'm a big homebody, I do feel like I have a very, I don't know, a bit of a
Party side?
chaotic nature about me. When you get to know me, I feel like everything in my mind is really organized, but from the outside perspective, it does not look like that. Like I look like it's a lot going on.
Really?
And I feel like he reminds me a bit of Alex, but also the other one that came to my mind, and I'm actually having trouble remembering. Yours truly, is that Jacob? Is that his name? Am I thinking of, is that a random name that's,
Yes, the
yeah?
the introvert one. Yeah. I think that
Yeah.
was Jacob. Yeah.
There was elements of him as well in the way that he I can't even remember the main girl protagonist now. Everything's just gone out of my mind.
Names are
But
a blur.
in the way that like he wrote her letters and everything like that, like Austen is very, to be honest, if anyone's going to write a book, it's Austen. Like he's a writer and
Ooh.
he writes like, he's a really, I don't know, there was just elements in him that I was like, oh, I kind of see you in that character. And that, I mean, great for me because that's one of my favorite like male love
That's so
interests that I've read
cute. Yeah.
about. So, but yeah, there was just, he's a very like in tune kind of person and he's not going to like, he's going to like pick up on the little things. And I feel like Jacob in Yours Truly did that really, really well. So, from first glance, probably those ones. But that I'm going to think about that for the rest of the day now. I'm going to be like thinking about it in my
Yeah.
mind.
That was actually a really good question. I want to,
Yeah.
think of more characters that I could compare.
Yeah. Gosh, we had so many questions that we probably easily do a part 2 on this.
I feel like we honestly should do a part 2. Maybe
Yeah,
not like
'cause
next
there's
week,
some
but maybe the week after or something. Like we need to schedule
yeah,
this in.
because there's a lot of questions that I really want to get to, and obviously we just chat too much. So yeah, maybe we'll do a part 2 if you guys are into that.
Yeah, let us know if you want a part 2. We have a lot of questions remaining from you guys, so
Yeah.
we want to get to them all at some point in our lives.
Yeah.
But if you guys are still here listening to the end, thank you for listening, wherever you are in the world or whatever time zone you're in.
Until next time, stay comfy and keep reading.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on socials for more bookish content.
Bye. See you next time.